The insistent knocking pulled Hazel from a dreamless sleep. She glanced at her bedside clock, 3:17 a.m., and groaned. Who could possibly be at her door at this ungodly hour? Stumbling through her small apartment, she peered through the peephole. Her neighbor, Zelthar, or Remy, as he preferred humans call him, stood in the hallway. His translucent blue skin shimmered under the fluorescent lights, and his 4 eyes blinked in that unsettling pattern she'd never quite gotten used to. Hazel opened the door a crack. "Remy? What's wrong?" The Velkari shifted his weight, his vestigial wings twitching with obvious anxiety. In the 2 years since first contact, Hazel had learned to read some of their body language. Remy was terrified. "Hazel," he said, his voice modulated through the translation collar at his throat. "Don't go to work today. Just trust me." "What? Remy, I can't just—" "Please." His primary eyes locked onto hers with an intensity that made her breath catch. "I cannot explain, but if you value your life, stay home. All day. Do not leave until tomorrow." Before she could respond, he turned and hurried back to his apartment, the door sliding shut behind him with a soft hiss. Hazel stood frozen in her doorway, heart pounding. In all their casual conversations, discussing Earth movies, sharing meals, complaining about the building's terrible heating system, Remy had never been anything but cheerful and curious. This was different. This was real fear. She called in sick to the transit authority, where she worked as a maintenance supervisor. Her boss was furious. They were already short-staffed, but Hazel couldn't shake the look in Remy's eyes. The morning crawled by. She tried watching television, but every channel was the usual mix of post-contact programming, debates about integration policies, cultural exchange shows, xenobiological documentaries. Nothing unusual, nothing alarming. At 1 p.m., her phone exploded with notifications. The first message was from her co-worker, Sarah. "Oh my God, are you okay?" Then her mother, "Hazel, please tell me you weren't at work today." News alerts flooded her screen. Hazel's hands trembled as she pulled up the live feed. The central transit hub, where she would have been performing routine maintenance on the maglev systems, was a smoking crater. Emergency vehicles surrounded the devastation. The death toll was already in the hundreds. Structural failure in the primary support column. Catastrophic collapse. No warning signs. Hazel sank onto her couch, the phone slipping from nerveless fingers. She would have been there, right there, in Maintenance Bay 7, which according to the aerial footage no longer existed. A soft knock at her door made her jump. Remy stood in the hallway again, his skin now pale lavender, a color she'd never seen on him before. "You saw?" he said quietly. She nodded, unable to form words. Remy entered when she stepped aside, his movements unusually slow. "I need to explain, but first you must understand I was forbidden to warn you. It is against our laws, against the integration accords." "You knew," Hazel whispered. "How did you know?" The alien settled onto her couch, all 4 eyes closing briefly. "The Velkari. We experience time differently than humans. Not dramatically so. Just slightly ahead. A few hours, sometimes a full day. It is why my people were chosen as integration liaisons. We can sense potential problems before they manifest." "Then why didn't you warn everyone? Why didn't your government—" "We tried." His voice cracked through the translator. "We reported the temporal echo 3 days ago. Your engineers investigated. They found nothing wrong. The human authorities decided we were being overly cautious, that our predictions were based on faulty understanding of human engineering." Hazel's mind reeled. "So they ignored you. They said we see threats everywhere because we evolved on a hostile world. They said human construction standards were sound, that we were creating panic over feelings rather than data." Remy's wings fluttered with agitation. The Integration Council forbade any Velkari from making individual warnings. They said it would undermine human confidence in their own systems, create dependency. People died because of bureaucracy, Hazel said, the words ash in her mouth. People died because both our species are stubborn, Remy corrected gently. Because humans resent being told they missed something. Because my people are trying too hard not to seem superior. He looked at her with all four eyes. I broke the law to save you, Hazel. You have been kind to me. You never treated me as lesser or as a curiosity. You treated me as a neighbor, as a friend. Hazel felt tears streaming down her face. How many other Velkari warned their human friends? I do not know. Perhaps none. The penalties are severe. Deportation, exile from integration programs. His skin flickered through several colors. But I decided that your laws, our laws, they matter less than your life. She crossed the room and did something she'd never done before. She hugged her alien neighbor. Remy stiffened in surprise, then carefully wrapped his thin arms around her, his skin warm against her shoulder. Thank you, she whispered. They stood that way for a long moment before Remy gently pulled back. There will be investigations. They will discover that Velkari predictions were ignored. There will be anger on both sides. Hazel wiped her eyes. Then we need to make sure that anger leads somewhere productive. Not all humans are too proud to listen, Remy, and not all your people should be silent to spare our feelings. You would testify? About what I told you? If it means this never happens again? Absolutely. She managed a weak smile. Though you might want to pack a bag. When they find out you warned me. Remy's skin shifted to a warm orange, the Velkari equivalent of a smile. I already have. But I think perhaps some laws are worth breaking. Some friendships are worth the cost. As sirens continued to wail in the distance, and the news feeds filled with tragedy, Hazel looked at her alien neighbor, the being who had risked everything to knock on her door at 3 a.m., and felt something shift in her understanding of what first contact really meant. It wasn't about governments or treaties or integration accords. It was about one person caring enough about another to do the right thing, no matter the consequences. And maybe, just maybe, that was the most human thing of all, even when it came from someone who wasn't human at all.